And in the TED Talk, What If You Were an Immigrant, the speaker talks about him being an immigrant and him coming into America in 1994. He was age 14. It was rough on him and his family. He stated in the video that when he came to America, his parents had a house and there was only one bedroom. His parents decided to give him the one bedroom, and his parents would sleep in the living room on a mattress. He then later said that one day after school, he walked home with some of his friends, and his friends came into the house, and his parents kind of looked at him like confused and frustrated because they didn't know that somebody was coming over and they just had a mattress laying on the middle of their living room floor. He later said that his parents talked to him about it and was like, why didn't you let us know that somebody was coming over? Like, we didn't have time to prepare. His friends didn't have a place to sit because there was a mattress on the floor. They didn't have furniture. So his parents were kind of ashamed of his friends seeing how they were living in their living situation. He also said that the parents, people who are immigrants, their parents pay the cost of being immigrants. Their children have the benefits, and then the grandchildren take it for granted. So with that, he's basically saying that the parents are paying the cost for them going to America and trying to live a better life. And with that, sometimes they have children with them, so then the children are coming, but the children don't really know what's going on at the certain age that they are. So children get the benefits of moving to another country at the young age because they have so much more to live for when they come into the new country, whereas their parents are maybe mid-age or even older, and their parents have to decide what are they going to do to provide for their kids once they get back into America, because they left their own country just to come to America to be immigrants, and then they're being treated differently because they're not going to be treated the same as people who were born in America. It's going to be totally different for them. And then grandchildren of these parents and then the children are going to take it for granted because the grandchildren, they don't know what's going on at all. They just know that they were born in this certain place at this certain time. They don't know how or when they were here. And they're taking it for granted because parents, they don't want to tell their kids what happened. They want them to live the life that they have, and the grandchildren are going to take it for granted because they have it in their hands right now and they don't want to mess it up. So I really liked how he said that because I think that is a true statement, and I think it needs to be looked at even more to make it better for the community to see how these parents are providing for their children at the time of them having to move all the way across the world. He also said that with the government, everybody has their own beliefs, and they have beliefs of who should come and why some people shouldn't, and everybody has their own beliefs. But he also said that, but the government, they don't want to listen to your beliefs. So they have a rule where you have to have a piece of paper to show that you can live in this certain area. He said that pretend he was Canadian and he wanted to go back to Canada to see some people, but then there's that thought what if I can't come back because I don't have the registration? I could get stopped and they're where's your registration? And you might not have it on you. So then you can't even go back and see your friends, maybe even your family that's back in America. And that's another thing where the government has their own policies. And he started getting emotional over this type of world that is lived with immigration, because the government, they have to where you have to have that piece of paper or birth certificate that says you were born in America. So it's kind of hard right now, but I get where he's trying to say it is hard because most people, they want to live here, but then the government's no, you can't. you're not allowed to. Like, you have to have this form of paper just to live here, which I feel like that's not okay. He also said that, like, if you are in America, you could go on a 12-hour flight to another country and you can still come back. Like, that's how our world is now. Like, you can get on this plane and you can say, I want to go here. And you can go to this certain place. And then you can say, okay, I want to come back at this certain time. And you can totally do that. But with people who are trying to come to another place, it's kind of hard for them to do that. Like, they can't go from a place where they were born, and then if they don't have that certificate or paperwork, they will not be allowed into the place that they want to go. So overall, I really think that the speaker told a really good story of how he was the age of 14 and he was an immigrant in 1994, coming from the place that he lived with his parents to come into America to live the life he has. And he also was stating, like, you don't see him as a person that he is to be doing the job that he is now. You see him doing, like, jobs like, he stated, like 7-Eleven, working at a grocery store, working at a nail salon. Like, people have that mindset of a person who looks like this should be doing this. They can't do what other people do, which he's trying to say, like, that's also not okay, but that's people's beliefs. That's also, like, the government's beliefs with the paperwork. So I feel like he did a really good job of explaining that part of it, and he did a really good job of, like, his parents were, like, ashamed of people seeing their living conditions because they paid the cost of coming here because they didn't have money at the time. They had a job, but, like, it's not a good paying job. And he said that him and his father, they were janitors. So, like, it's not paying a lot for them to live at this certain place at this certain time. So his parents and him had to do so much work to live and to be at where they're at now. And the place that he is now, he is a speaker. He was on a TED Talk. Like, he showed that he can do this and what he wanted to improve on. And I feel like that's a great motivator. And by the end of the video, he started getting, like, emotional because of the stuff that he was talking about. So with this and what the speaker was talking about, people can use this in the future to say, like, hey, like, maybe this should, like, stop, or there can be new rules and, like, who can come, and, like, maybe not loosen it up a little bit, and so more people can, like, go and have, like, a life that they want to live and not base people off of what color they are or what culture they're from. Like, it can be so much better in the future when people are hearing these stories, especially from this speaker, because he was very, very, like, motivational in how he was speaking, and that can motivate how the audience felt at the time. So I really like the TED Talk, and I feel like it can be useful in the future and now, and the speaker did a really nice job. Thank you.